in 3 days, they packed in so much fun.
A lot of laughing, a lot of smiling. That'll be amazing.
It's a no-brainer. Travel the world, meet people. This was the best thing that ever happened to me.
You're listening to the DreamTrips podcast.
I'm Wayne McMullen.
And I'm Brooklyn Peters.
And welcome to another episode of the DreamTrips podcast.
We have a fun and informative episode for you here today.
Yeah, you know what we certainly do. In fact, today's episode is all about Welcome DreamTrips. Now, you'll hear us say on a number of times that to get the best from your membership, you really have to do three things. First, you have to visit a DreamTrips local partner and sample their incredibly great offerings, right?
Yes, and then you need to download the DreamTrips app so you have access to your benefits in the palm of your hand.
Without a doubt. And finally, you have to book a Welcome Dream Trip as soon as you can so you can see how great the experience and DreamTrips community actually is.
Plus, it is so affordable,
Sure
so go choose from the many, many Welcome Dream Trips that we have from all around the world.
And don't forget to start creating those incredible new fun memories.
Coming up later on today's DreamTrips podcast, we hear your posts as our social media guru Jason Clayton walks us through the social media.
Yep, and in our membership spotlight, I speak to one of our members about their Welcome Dream Trip experience.
Looks like another episode packed with fun.
Yep, I couldn't have put it better myself. First, let's start off today's podcast with our special guest who's going to talk in detail about Welcome Dream Trips.
Today's feature.
My guest is someone I've known for a long time. She's going to be talking to us about Welcome Dream Trips, and she has one of the longest titles in our company. So please join me in welcoming today the In-Destination Support Supervisor, Andy Marquez. Now, you've been with the company, gosh, I don't know, how many years?
Going on 5. I have seen a lot of changes across the board. We've grown like crazy. When I started, we had about 100 employees. Now we're up to over 600, just corporate employees. So we're really growing and expanding.
And on the trip side, I mean, when you probably started, we had, 3 trips going then?
We actually had probably about 30 to 40 trips a month my first year. And now we're up to close to between 400 and 500 a month, probably.
Wow, that's incredible. That really is awesome. You've actually been very pivotal in almost designing and really implementing what we call a Welcome Dream Trip.
Yes, I have. I have helped with the creation of Welcome Dream Trips, been with Welcome Dream Trip since the beginning.
Tell me, how did the idea of a Welcome Dream Trip first come about?
So, we have tons of new members that join the Dream Trips monthly, and our goal is to get every member on a trip. That's what we want everybody to experience a dream trip, to see what it is, what they've purchased. Every trip they can experience what a true dream trip is. They get all the perks of a normal dream trip, but you can only book within your first 90 days.
Well, hang on, hold on. You can only book in your first 90 days for a Welcome Dream Trip.
Well, you can only book at the special rate for Welcome Dream Trips.
Gotcha.
After that first 90 days, so that's the goal. Get people on a dream trip to experience the sense of community that we have, to see that experience, that on-the-ground member experience.
And, let's talk about that experience first. And I'm going to go, first of all, let me just say, from the moment that you arrive on your Welcome Dream Trip, it's really kind of special, right? I mean, do we have people that are set up to greet them at the hotel?
We do. We have an in-destination support team member. Most of our welcome trips are going to have at least 50 rooms. So that would be close to 100 people on all welcome trips. So we'll have an in-destination support team member at a welcome table when you arrive. Usually that's going to be from about 2 p.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. depending on the time of check-in at the hotel. And then there will also be a welcome reception that evening. You'll get to meet your fellow Dream Trippers, get to experience just that sense of community again, and get any updates from your in-destination support team member and, any itinerary changes, anything like that.
Well, that's kind of cool. So if I'm just joining as a brand new member and I really don't know anybody within the community, I can turn up and book one of these Welcome Dream Trips within my first 90 days, get that cool rate, and then I can actually turn up on the trip and there'll be things sort of organized for me so I can meet people?
Yes. We will create your trip from start to finish, but from the time you get to the hotel to the time you check out. You don't have to be involved in all of the activities that we create for you, but everything's there for you. So we do have, like I said, the welcome table when you check in, the welcome reception. There will always be an activity or an excursion on the dream trip that you can join in on. then the in-destination support team member is there for you for anything. Whether you have a problem with your room that you need help resolving with the hotel, they'll be that liaison to take care of that while you're having fun.
Well, that's really kind of cool because, if I turn up and I don't know anybody, they're going to introduce me to the group of people. We'll have some fun. You've been on a couple welcome dream trips, right? I mean, as I have myself, they're brilliant. They're an absolute blast. What would you say is probably the most fun you've had and why?
So the most fun I've had, my favorite dream trip right now, welcome dream trip to date, is going to be Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a kid at heart. I love Disney. Our welcome dream trips last year in 2015 included Disney tickets. In 2016, they included Universal Studios tickets.
Oh, wow, for the big kids.
For the bigger kids, yeah. So I just love seeing the children light up and their parents are having a good time. And for me, being a parent, that's the driver of taking a vacation. My vacations are family vacations now. So it's having my child have fun and, seeing that just, the excitement on both the parents and the children.
You bring up a great point there that there are a lot of families on these welcome dream trips, and you mentioned the Orlando one. I know we're doing Anaheim this year.
We are. This year we've added Anaheim, California, and that does include Disneyland tickets.
Wow.
So that's a great deal. You're, like I said, the 3 nights, 4 days, your Disney tickets, breakfast every morning is included. So it's an awesome trip.
I hear they've got a pretty famous mouse there. Is he a Dream Trips member also?
I've seen him with the "You Should Be Here" banner, so he might be.
So I'm on a welcome dream trip. There are excursions and all sorts of fun things that I can do. But I want some downtime. I mean, is it like line up everybody in a line and we all go here and we all go there, or can I just kind of chill and relax on a welcome dream trip?
You're exactly right. You can chill and relax. Again, it's your vacation. It's your dream trip. We have a few things planned for you. If you want to join us, great. If not, that's fine. So you usually will have a day at leisure that you can go off, do your own thing, hang out in your hotel room if you want to rest, any of that.
That's cool. And I know if we have obviously various grades of membership. If you're a platinum member, you get some additional platinum perks sometimes on the dream trip, correct?
Correct.
I mean, obviously it goes trip by trip.
Correct. So every dream trip will vary. You will have a platinum inclusion on your welcome dream trip if you are a platinum member. Okay,
here's a question that I've had a lot of members ask me, and that is, how do I know whether I'm going to get my platinum inclusion or not? I've had a lot of people say, well, I booked my dream trip, my welcome dream trip, and I upgraded to platinum about a week ago. Am I going to get that platinum inclusion?
Unfortunately, if you upgrade a week before your trip, no, you will not get that platinum inclusion. You have to upgrade at least 30 days prior to the trip starting to receive your platinum inclusion.
But I mean, even without that, you're still going to have an incredible trip,
You
right?
still have an incredible trip. You still get all of the other benefits, the other inclusions. And like the platinum inclusion can be anything from an additional excursion, it can be free Wi-Fi, it varies from trip to trip.
Now, so how do I find out then if I am a platinum member and I've booked, how do I find out exactly what my platinum inclusions are for that?
So on your booking page, there is a platinum inclusion section.
Oh.
Just a drop down and it'll tell you exactly what's included before you book.
Now, we actually do some communication with all of our members before they actually go on a welcome trip. What are the sort of things that happens in advance that they get notified of?
Yep, so we send out a Go Guide about 2 weeks prior to your trip begins. That Go Guide will have information on your hotel, exactly where you're staying. If transfers are included, it will include transfer information. So it'll just give you the basics of your trip that's coming up, all the information you need. We also create a Facebook event page for every one of our dream trips.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, so that Facebook event page right now is a great place to go to get any updates on the trip. Anything that your in-destination support team member needs to communicate with you, that's the best place to get those updates.
So let me get this right. So if I'm going on a welcome dream trip and say I'm not too sure how long it takes for me to get from the airport to the hotel. We have to pay our transportation, obviously, to get from the airport to the hotel.
Correct.
I can actually go on the Facebook page and say, hey, listen, I'm flying in from Detroit to Anaheim on this hotel, and somebody will actually monitor that and answer me.
Your in-destination planner will be available to answer those questions. You can also email dreamtrips@rovia.com if you have questions, and they'll get back to you there.
That's a good point, because I mean, certainly, we're all electronically connected. So they what's the email address again? If they have any questions in particular about their welcome dream trip?
That's DreamTrips@rovia.com.
Perfect. You know that it's always fun to hear about what people want to do on dream trips, and where they want to go on their bucket list. Do you have any trips that you're planning over the next 6 months? Not that we're going to stalk you or anything, but just anything that you think is really cool that you're looking forward to.
I actually do. I have a son that will be 3 this summer. I am taking him to Disneyland this summer.
Oh, wow.
Again, like I said, I am a kid at heart, so I want to see him light up and have fun with Mickey Mouse.
You said you can take additional people with you on trips, right?
Correct.
Now, do they have to be part of the membership, or can I just bring a guest along?
You can bring a guest as long as there is at least one person that is staying in the room that is a DreamTrips member.
Now, is there a limit on the other side of it? Say I've got 3 brothers and sisters, and we all want to crash in the 2 big beds that are in the room in, I don't know, say for example Chicago. Is that okay?
There is a limit on that. That's going to depend on the hotel's occupancy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to vary.
So what you're basically saying is that refer obviously to DreamTrips.com and see exactly what the limitations are.
Yes, you always want to check your booking page before you book a trip to make sure that you know exactly how many people can travel on that trip.
Okay, and you mentioned about checking the booking page. I can also check that out on my app as well, right? It will show up on my app.
It will. All you have to do is download the DreamTrips app, and you can see all of the trips there as well as book from your phone. You know, we're really big on the sense of community and that experience that members have.
Would you say that that's really at the heart of what a welcome trip is all about? Is trying to just make people realize that they're there to have fun?
Ideally, it's the people that have signed up within the last 90 days that are on these welcome trips. It's their first introduction to the DreamTrips family, and that's what we are. We're a family and a community.
It's it's really up to the members to really just jump in there with both feet and just give it a shot, right?
Definitely. We want all of our members to go on a dream trip at least once. Once you experience a dream trip, you're not going to travel any other way.
Well, you know what? Andy Marquez, with the longest title of any person I've ever met in our company. Thank you so much for joining us on the Dream Trips podcast today.
Thank you, Wayne.
Today's feature.
Wow, I knew welcome dream trips were cool, but there is so much more to them than I had imagined.
Yep, and we currently have upwards of 10 locations in the US and many more in Asia, Australia, Europe, and Africa. So go to DreamTrips.com or the app and select Welcome Dream Trips to see just where you can go to.
Have you been on a welcome dream trip yet, Wayne?
I've been on a couple, and I have to say the best part of it for me was obviously experiencing the friendliness of our members and the incredible feeling of just being part of the community that we have here.
With so many locations worldwide, where did you pick?
That's a tough question, but I think my favorite had to be San Francisco. I spent a lot of time there making new friends, and you know what? I even witnessed one of our members get down on one knee and propose marriage.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
That is incredible.
Yeah. Well, that's what our welcome dream trips are. Simply incredible. I have to admit, though, that I really want to go to Dublin.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, because making new friends and experiencing new things with our members is really why I love doing what we do here.
Let's check in on Jason Clayton and see whose posts feature today.
The Social Beat.
One of the best things we love seeing on social are the moments our members share on their very first dream trip. Here are a few we wanted to share with you, from a New York City staycation to a safari in Kenya. Victoria Sosa Caneri stayed at the La Parca Meridian, New York, and had this to say: "Thank you for showing us New York City in a special way. Amazing weekend with my family and new friends." Lucy Kamidi in Kenya enjoyed a safari and said, "We finally found the elephant. Quite gigantic. Whoop whoop, what a ride." At 96 Agale 96 shared new friends, amazing experiences, and memories that will last a lifetime at a price I can afford. And finally, Scott DeVore said that this was the first dream trip we went on, and it was fabulous. Decorated for the holidays, and so many extras. Thanks, Dream Trips. As always, we love to see your posts, especially if this is the first time that you're experiencing a dream trip. Use the hashtag #WelcomeDreamTrips for a chance to be featured on our next series.
The Social Beat.
Thanks, Jason, for sharing member posts from social media with our listeners.
You know what? Social media is such a big part of our community and just part of the fun of being a Dream Trips member.
So, Wayne, I believe you spoke to another member this week about the welcome trips to get their point of view.
You know what? I guess what you're trying to say is it's time for my favorite segment.
I was trying to say that.
Well,
we just read each other so well.
Then let's just get right to it then.
Member Spotlight.
We're actually reaching out to a member from Garland, Texas. Her name's Lanice Ragland, and I'd like to welcome Lanice to the podcast. Welcome, Lanice.
Well, thank you. It's so nice to be here. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you here. So, you're full of energy, you're enthusiastic. How long have you been a member with DreamTrips, Lanice?
I've been a member for almost 2 years.
Wow. Now,
Yes.
A little birdie tells me, and that's, of course, the reason why we've actually got you on the podcast, that you actually really love Welcome Dream Trips. And I understand you've been on a Welcome Dream Trip. Where did you go to?
I went to San Francisco, and yes, I absolutely love the Welcome Dream Trip. I had a blast in San Francisco.
I've done that dream trip myself. It's a fantastic place to go for a Welcome Dream Trip. What would you say you probably enjoyed most about that Welcome Dream Trip?
The most thing about this dream trip was meeting the other members that was on the trip just like me. It was just people from all around the world. And I mean, we had a great time. We got to spend 3 great days together with these people, and we actually made some lasting friends on this trip. So that was one of the highlights for me. The other part is I've never been to a wine tasting, and we went on 2 wine tastings. That was phenomenal. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Those were my 2 highlights of the Welcome Dream Trip.
Now, did you get a real cool photo of yourself by the Golden Gate Bridge?
Yes, we took lots of pictures. We actually had to do it twice because the first day it was a little cloudy, so we couldn't see, the full extent of the bridge. So by Sunday, when we got the hop-off bus passes, which was great because we got to see the whole entire San Francisco. That was so much fun. When we went back on the bus tour, it was a sunny day, so we got great pictures on the bridge.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What you said before about meeting members from all over the world, I don't think people really understand how much of a community Dream Trips really is. Would you say that's one of the things that really sets us apart from anything else out there?
Absolutely. I love it because when you go somewhere that you've never been, it's always great to feel like you know somebody, kind of. And so this kind of puts it in that perspective of you have all these members part of this same great club as you, and you meet up at this same great place. And I mean, a lot of the people that we met, we still keep in touch today. So it's just like a big old family club.
That's awesome. Now, you say you've kept in touch with them. Are you planning on going on any other Welcome Dream Trips or trips in the near future?
Yes, I am. I actually have one booked already. I'm going to New York in August, and I've always wanted to go to New York. It's one of my bucket lists, and I'm so excited. I can't even wait for August to get here.
Well, thanks for joining us today on the podcast, Lanice. I hope that you listen to all of our Dream Trips podcasts coming up in the future, and very happy travels to you.
Thank you so much, and you have a good day.
Member Spotlight.
Oh man, Lanice was an absolute pleasure to chat with, and we have so many more members to talk to over the coming months.
And just like that, it's the end of another Dream Trips podcast.
Aww.
What do we have coming up next week, Wayne?
Well, you know what? I'm excited about next week's podcast, Brooklyn, as it's all about the Dream Trips app.
That sounds like an episode no member should miss.
Definitely. They'll get a chance to hear from our head of digital, Andy Chu. And he's got plenty to tell our members about the app and all the other digital processes.
And what to expect in the coming months.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a great episode.
I agree with you on that, and I think that's about all we have time for this week, Brooklyn.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, we hope you are enjoying and learning from the Dream Trips podcast and are looking forward to more from the membership team. I'm Wayne McMullen.
And I'm Brooklyn Peters. And remember,
the best way to experience the world is together.
The Dream Trips Podcast.
The proceeding was a discussion about the benefits of the World Ventures Dream Trips membership and is meant for entertainment purposes only. Offers and benefits will vary by market and location. Members should refer to the DreamTrips.com website for terms and conditions of membership in their market and location.